A leopon is the hybrid product of crossing a male leopard and a lioness. The head of the animal resembles that of a lion and the rest of the body resembles that of a leopard with diffuse spots. Leopons are larger than leopards and combine characteristics of both their parents. Marie Curie's tomb is surrounded by 2.5 centimeters of lead to protect the visiting public from radiation from her remains. Would you like to see it? Because of radiation she was exposed to during her career as a scientist. The parasite Cymathoa exigua is an animal that devours the tongues of its victims and takes their place. It is a parasite that adheres to the tongue of its host fish using its 3 pairs of front legs and drinks from the artery that supplies blood to this organ. This is known as a forest noise amplifier, where people can lie down and listen to the different sounds of nature. In Tikrit, Iraq, they made a monument to the man who threw his shoe at George W. Bush in 2008. The incident occurred almost 6 years after the United States invaded Iraq in search of alleged weapons of mass destruction, which were later proven not to exist. A woman dropped her engagement ring in the glass of a homeless man named Billy Ray Harris, who decided to find the woman and return her ring. She held a fundraiser and managed to get $190,000 for Harris. He now has a wife and children and lives very well. British couple sleeping in a Morrison shelter in case the house fell during World War II. This is a hut made of mammoth bone tusk created in the Ice Age. It is 25,000 years old and is possibly the oldest architecture in the world. It was discovered in Kostanki, Russia in 2020. According to human behavior studies, people who use a lot of bad words are more honest and trustworthy. Same artist, 13 years apart. An example to not stop doing what you were passionate about. Did you know? This was the exact moment Letty D realized she was in front of Mr. Bean. Don Rickles died before any dialogue could be recorded for Toy Story 4. At the request of his family, Disney reviewed 25 years of material from the first 3 Toy Story films, video games, and other media, and was able to gather enough dialogue to cover the entire story. Movie. To be born we need 2 parents for grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-grandparents, 64 pentagrandparents, 128 hex-grandparents, 256 heptagrandparents, 512 octograndparents, 1024 in-grandparents, 2048 to great-grandparents. All this in approximately 300 years before you or I were born. This man painted a woman inspired by his imagination, and when he met her, he married her. 2016, Donald Pugh, a man wanted by the law, sent a selfie to the police because according to him, the photo in which he appeared looked horrible and he asked them to change it. In 2022, a scientist had to apologize for uploading a slice of chorizo to the networks and saying that it was a star. When dogs are about to die, they decide to stay away from all their loved ones so as not to make them suffer. The love dogs have for their owners is unimaginable. Mike Tyson once tried to bribe a zookeeper with $10,000 to allow him to fight a gorilla for a round. James Varone planned to steal $1 and was arrested. He had a serious illness and could not pay for the treatment. So, once arrested, the government had to pay for all his treatment. Noah's Ark was rebuilt and opened to the public in Kentucky, USA. The measurements are exact to those given in the Bible.